You've heard chocolate is good for you, but you've also heard it's high in heavy metals. What's the truth? Is the chocolate you're eating truly a decadent treat or a toxic trap? I'm Kristen, this is Kristen Unpoisoned, and on this channel we take the poison out of everyday living, and today we're doing that by clearing up some of the confusion around chocolate. Stick with me to the end because I'm going to be sharing my absolute favorite source for rich, delicious chocolate. First, I just have to mention that just because something is good for most people doesn't mean it's good for all people. So obviously, if you have sensitivities or allergies to chocolate or any of its ingredients, then chocolate is definitely not good for you. But for the rest of us, chocolate is good for you, but only certain types and without all those crazy additives added. Studies show what makes chocolate healthy is its cocoa content, so what you hear about chocolate being healthy doesn't apply to milk chocolate or white chocolate. From what I've read, it looks like the benefits ramp up around the 80 to 85% cocoa mark. A lot of research shows dark chocolate consumption can increase mood, is good for cardiovascular health, and can help with blood flow. This study shows dark chocolate improves mood by the restructuring of intestinal bacteria, improving negative emotional states via the gut-brain axis, which I was not aware of before. That's pretty cool. This study shows eating dark chocolate positively modulates exercise-induced intestinal damage in elite football athletes. I wasn't aware of that particular benefit until now, and it's amazing because gut health is pretty much everything. I'll share this whole PubMed search in the description below this video just so you can check out all of that and read up for yourself later. You've probably heard about the Consumer Reports lead and cadmium in chocolate report, which showed that every chocolate product they tested contained at least trace amounts of the heavy metals lead and cadmium. Here's my main takeaway from the report. There will be trace amounts of the heavy metals lead and cadmium in whatever chocolate you eat, so don't overdo it on chocolate every day, but it's not actually that big a deal. It's similar to how there's always going to be at least trace amounts of fluoride within your tea because the tea plant absorbs the fluoride from the soil up into its leaves, but you can take measures to have less fluoride in your tea by choosing tea that is plucked when the leaves are younger, like peak tea does. Gideon M-K, an author, wrote this great article on Medium about how the Consumer Reports report on lead and cadmium in chocolate is really not that big a deal, and I will link to that article below. It's on Medium. But yeah, I'll link it below so you can read it later. But what I found most interesting about his article is that the level of lead exposure that the Consumer Reports reported against is 10 times lower than what the FDA considers safe. So it's very conservative. As for cadmium, the FDA doesn't actually have a safe exposure level on that, but the European version of the FDA does, and it is 6 times lower than what the Consumer Reports report judged against. So the headlines might be a little sensationalized when you realize how low of an exposure you're actually getting by eating chocolate, especially when you realize that scientists don't even know yet whether that lead and cadmium in chocolate is actually absorbable by the human body. We don't know that yet. I will link to an article that talks a little bit more about that below in the description if you want to read more. So all in all, your exposure to heavy metals through dark chocolate is pretty low, and you're not likely to have any ill effects from it unless you're eating huge amounts daily. But if you're sensitive, if you've been tested and are showing that you already have a high amount of heavy metals within your body that you're trying to detox, or if you have any other issues that you want to talk about, of course, reach out to your trusted healthcare provider and together figure out if eating dark chocolate is right for you. Here's a typical box of chocolates you'll find in a big box grocery store. Look, it's in a lovely box and is a mix of milk and dark chocolates with various fillings. Let's just see what's actually in this lovely box of chocolates. Wow, I mean, look at how long the ingredient list is on this thing. It's like a novel, for goodness sake. Okay, the first ingredient, we've got milk chocolate. So milk chocolate doesn't have the health benefits, of course, that the dark chocolate does. And dairy proteins look similar to grain proteins for those of us who have autoimmune issues. So if you're getting rid of grain in your diet to get rid of autoimmune issues, then you also need to get rid of all dairy from your diet because to, a body like ours, which has autoimmune issues, a grain protein is going to look so similar to a dairy protein that it's going to attack it as if it were grain. So we need to get that out of our lives. Vanillin is an artificial flavor. We don't need artificial flavors in our bodies. Vanilla would be great as a substitute because vanilla is real. Dark chocolate, we've got chocolate processed with alkali. If you can get chocolate that's not processed with alkali, that's better for you. Cocoa butter, milk fat. Okay, so there's actually milk in their dark chocolate, which is bizarre. So don't eat that. Sugar and corn syrup. Of course, corn is a grain, so we want to get rid of those. Condensed milk, cream, butter. Okay, so their dark chocolate is full of dairy, which is not good, so we're going to go ahead and skip that. Lots of sugar, brown sugar, inverted sugar. We want to get rid of those. Skimming on down, white chocolate. Of course, you're not going to get the health benefits from white chocolate either because it doesn't have any cocoa in it. So let's just skip through these. Well, I see natural and artificial flavors here, which is horrible. Natural and artificial flavors are all fake, and they could be any of like hundreds or thousands of different ingredients, and they don't have to tell you what that is. So for me, if you're not going to tell me what it is, why in the world would I buy it? Let's see, whey protein isolate, of course, that's going to be not good for us. Soy, we want to not mess with soy. We've got the preservatives, potassium sorbate and sodium benzoate, which if you're trying to be healthy, you don't really need that in your body either. With citric acid is often a grain, so that's another source of hidden grain in your food that you want to avoid when possible. Well, avoid always. We've got the mixed tocopherols, which are oftentimes sourced from corn. Caramel color is fake, it's an artificial flavoring. You don't want that in your body. Maple sugar, actually next though, maple sugar is amazing. That's a really great ingredient. I don't know why they don't use that instead of all this other stuff. Sodium hydroxide, don't really need that. FD&C, fake colors, red 40, blue 1 and 2, yellow 5 and 6. I've always, since I was a little kid, I've had really bad reactions to fake food colorings. There's no need for it. There's so many other things you can do. So that's not good. Honey, that's amazing. Apricots with sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is unnecessary. You don't need that in your body. We've got maltodextrin, which is, again, almost always grain. Coconut with sodium metabosulfite. So that's a preservative that, again, you don't need. It's unnecessary. Potassium phosphate, carrageenan. Carrageenan is a gut irritant. So, as you can see with the whole novel of ingredients in this small box of chocolates, it's not good for your health. All it is a pretty package, and you don't need to buy something because of marketing. You need to know what it is and buy it because of what it is. But not all hope is lost. There is a great alternative that I have found, so let's move on to that. I discovered the brand Cow last year, and I'm so excited about them. It's the best clean chocolate that I have ever tasted in my life, and this video is not sponsored. I mean, my channel is not big enough for sponsorship, so I just really love this brand, so I needed to share it with you guys. So we're gonna look at the boxes of chocolate here. Let's go to shop and down to vegan chocolate truffles. So you've got different options here for pre-made boxes of chocolate that you can order. We've got maca almond butter cupid there, pretty cute. Espresso truffles, salted caramel truffles, so good. Let's look at the dark chocolate truffle here. Looks so good. Okay, let's open the ingredient tab. Wow, look, just a few ingredients. Of course, this is a box of only one type of truffle, so that would be really crazy if it was a whole novel length. We've got cacao, coconut sugar, cacao butter, cacao nibs, vanilla bean, and Himalayan salt. That is as clean as you can get. So good. Let's try a different one here. This looks good. Rose truffles. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so ingredients are cacao, coconut sugar, cacao nibs, cacao butter, Damascus rose oil, vanilla bean, and Himalayan salt. Again, clean, delicious. My goodness. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for when you're looking for a box of chocolates. Ingredients that you know what they are and not just buying it because the box is pretty. So if you're thinking about buying something for Valentine's Day, they've got a Valentine's Day special tab here. We'll just click that. I'm sure that'll disappear after Valentine's Day is over, but let's just look at what they've got here. So you can buy a little variety box of chocolates here, 6-piece. I've seen the prices here. The downside to eating actual food is that it's not fake, and so it's a bit more expensive to create, which means it's a bit more expensive to buy. So this is expensive, but it's not like you're going to be buying this every day anyway. That's a beautiful little box of chocolates there. It's showing all the individual ones that are in it. So good. Organic ingredients, vegan and plant-based, fair trade cacao. So good. It's got all the ingredients listed there. Look, see? Just a small list of actual stuff that all makes sense, and you know what everything is, and it's all, your body's gonna know what to do with it. This is what you need here. This is what you need if you're gonna buy a box of chocolates. I got a 16-piece custom truffle box from Curacao with a gift card that I got for Christmas, and I am so excited to show it to you guys and do a little taste test. The only other thing I've tried from Curacao, I've ordered once before, and it was a tangerine, the little tangerine truffles, and they were incredible, so I'm so excited for this. Now, it doesn't actually give you a cheat sheet, so while I know what I ordered, I don't actually know where they are in this box here. I'm gonna try this one. Wow. Oh, that is so good. I bet that's the raw fudge truffle. Look how fudgy and delicious that is in the center. Oh my goodness. Just a box of these would be great. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's got to be the raw fudge. So good. I can definitely recommend that one. It's just a very deep, like having a brownie, like having a fudge brownie, but as a little truffle bite. Just a nice, deep, velvety texture, nice mouthfeel, so delicious. Now this one here with the yellow stripes on it, I know that's one of the tangerine ones, which I've already had before. So let me try a different one. Okay, I'm gonna try this one. It has kind of some little pink sparkles on top. I think this is the rose one, but I'm not sure. Yes. Yes, I will accept this rose. This is definitely a rose truffle. See, it looks kind of similar to the raw fudge one that I just had, but so it has the same kind of velvety mouthfeel, but there's just this, it's like a rose just kind of blooms when you eat it. That sounds really weird, but you don't taste it at first. It's subtle. Just all of a sudden this rose just blooms. This is magnificent. Good job, Curacao. As much as I would love to sit here and eat that entire box of chocolates, I'm gonna stop at 2 because they're so rich and so decadent. You've got to savor each one. Everything I recommend on this channel and personally use in my own life is grain-free, so by default gluten-free, refined sugar-free, nightshade-free, soy-free, and dairy-free. And to my knowledge, only Curacao chocolates makes a box of chocolates that meets those criteria. So please let me know in the comments below. Share with the group if you know of a brand that I've overlooked that meets all those criteria. Or if you've been lucky enough to try Curacao yourself, I'd love to know what was your favorite treat that you've had from them so I can try it myself. Keep living an unpoisoned life, and I'll see you soon.